Now, ladies and gentlemen, Counter-Strike Global Offensive's next operation, alongside Source 2, has been in the questions from the community for a very long time. And the simple question to that is, of course, when are we going to receive those? And are operations a yearly occurrence now at this point? Because the past 3 have been around the same time. And of course, with the upcoming Rio Major, that's also in the discussion. Are those stickers going to be profitable? And what kind of content are we going to be receiving? Because obviously we do have a very large player count right now, and it would make sense financially for Valve to really release anything like that. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a quick video and a quick little rundown on CSGO 2023 roadmap, specifically the latter half of 2022 and going into 2023, what we know, what to expect, like a case, capsules, these certain majors like the Paris major in May, when to expect certain things around that as well. This might give you a sense of what's going to come, what kind of content we could be receiving, and of course how that could possibly affect the market. So with that being said, if you guys enjoy videos like this and weekly CSGO content, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, SkinsMonkey. Now today's video sponsor is of course SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade. So as it stands right now, we are at the end of September going into October and the fall of 2022. And at this point in time, it's almost been a year anniversary since Operation Riptide, and most people are thinking we're most likely going to receive an operation very soon. Now, the pros and cons between those two and the reasons we would or wouldn't receive that, I would say the reason we wouldn't right now, we just got maps added with the 10th anniversary, like Anubis, Breach, and all these other ones as well. So people are saying, what's Valve going to do when they update an operation? They give us a whole bunch of new maps. They're just going to take these ones they just added in out. Wouldn't really make that much sense. But would make sense, of course, is having an operation because the player count is over 1 million pretty much on a daily basis and has been this past couple of weeks. And well, what I mean by that is financially for Valve, if they were to release something like an operation right now, they would bring in the most amount of money probably they've ever seen in an operation because there's so many people. People would want to buy skins, people would want to buy the battle pass, and just play the game overall and get invested into the game as well as buying items, for an example. Now, of course, another big reason is from this guy Aquarius on Twitter, and go follow him. He's got some pretty cool talks, pretty cool details about Source 2, about operations, and of course, just CSGO overall. He's recently tweeted out that I've kind of liked as well. I see a lot of people thinking that CSGO might have an operation very soon. Here's a little thing debunking it. And of course, we already got a map rotation. That's what he's saying. And considering we already got that, we probably won't see another one until November or December. And of course, second up to that, he says every operation has its own case that ships out with it. So like Operation Riptide, Operation Broken Fang, Operation Breakout, those have their own things attached to the operation that makes it exclusive. And of course, those go up over time. We got the recoil case 82 days ago, which means the next case should be in November, December as well. Pretty much he just kind of goes on to say that Valve kind of works on their own time. Valve releases things when they feel like they need to be released or people really want them. It's mostly on their part. When they feel like they're done with it, then that's probably the good way to go. Also a positive to not having an operation right now, in my personal opinion, is if you look at Operation Broken Fang to Riptide and of course Shattered Web, all 3 of those are extremely different. Riptide was definitely the most reused and half-fasted operation. They saw this success with Shattered Web and especially Broken Fang, and during the pandemic era of CS when we had 1.3 million players, which was the highest, they saw the success financially. So they're like, okay, let's replicate that once more with Operation Riptide, and that's exactly what they did. And it came out, things were broken for a very long time. When you unbox things, they weren't loading properly, inventories weren't loading for the first couple of weeks this was out. There was obviously no co-op missions either, which was a big problem that I had because it wasn't really feeling like an operation. It kind of just felt like an extension of Broken Fang at one point. So I think with more time getting worked on that, I think they'll have a better opportunity to release more stuff, maybe some newer stuff, new content we can try it alongside that. But once again, this guy does prove some really good points, and I do suggest you go check him out. It could also come during the Rio Major or a little after in the later half. I mean, you look at Operation Riptide, we had Stockholm going on at the same time. So to say that Valve would want to split them up a little differently so people would only go into one thing and spend more money because they'd have them split up, so you'd want to go into one, the next thing comes out and gets removed, the older one anyway, and then you go spend more money. And of course, that's going to take place in October at the very end of the 31st until November 13th, which is pretty cool, I think. And of course, as of those stickers right now, we don't really know what those are going to look like. Here's some concepts that we've seen so far that I've had some people DM me for. I think they're pretty interesting. They're pretty cool, but I also think that there's a decent chance they may reuse the same things from Stockholm and Antwerp having a transparent background, but that's a video for a different time, of course. And then, of course, after the Rio Major, I think if we don't receive an operation after, we're most likely going to get a separate case and obviously sticker capsules releasing alongside that. So usually every single year we receive just miscellaneous sticker capsule updates where we receive another sticker capsule. That's the Battlefield one, for an example, the 10th anniversary, which was pretty good and pretty well received. And like the Battlefield capsule, everyone just kind of forgot about it. And that's what I think we're probably going to see throughout this year is just sticker capsules that come in, don't really have the best stickers. Maybe it's something where Valve, kind of like Battlefield, partners up with a different company, for an example, and obviously they have that in their game. And then after that, I think if we don't have an operation, before or after the major, we're going to see the Paris major in May of 2022. So already kind of two majors very close to each other, and that's in May of 2022, which is pretty interesting because we just had one obviously in October going into November, so just like a 4 to 5 month difference. Will people be burnt out on stickers? I don't really know. It's definitely something to keep in mind when you're going to be buying into these as an investment, if you are. And on top of buying stickers as an investment, which is going to be another video for a different time, I have my opinions coming out very soon on why I'm pretty much no longer buying and really investing in hardcore anyway to the newer major. Not that I have really the past couple of years, but I've definitely spent more than I kind of wanted to in Antwerp, and of course with Stockholm I even spent a little bit, which turned out to be very successful, but the chances of that getting replicated again, that success, probably not going to happen, at least in that way. And then of course after that, I think Source 2 is going to release. Now I've been talking about this past year and past 6 months anyway, where we've had so many leaks, we've had so many leads on Source 2, like hard evidence, not like evidence in the past where it's he said, she said type of thing in the office and we don't really know where it came from. Gabe Follower is someone I also suggest you follow on Twitter alongside Aquarius, especially Gabe Follower anyway. He's been really diving deep into anything CSGO, releases at this point. He knows that Source 2 is getting play tested. They play tested Cobblestone. They've changed up some player models and just a bunch of stuff alongside that. And then after Source 2, I think with that release of when that comes out, of course, that's a whole video, of course, for a different time as well, but I think we're going to have two different options to launch it. You're going to be able to launch it in Source 1, the current build of CS, or Source 2. So if it's not stable for you in Source 2, you just launch it in the old one. And alongside that, I think if the player count's still really high, I think Valve is going to do their best if we don't get an operation, in really October and now until after the Rio Major, they're probably going to release an operation alongside that. That'd make very good financial sense for them. They make a lot of money, as well as it'd be good for the community. It's a win-win for everybody here. Valve gets some money, we get skins, we get new maps, and I'm hoping on top of Source 2 and an operation, if that's of course not during Source 2 or earlier on in the year, that we get some type of new content. Now, I'm not asking for crazy stuff. I'm not asking for a whole different game mode or anything like that. I just want something a little different. Make an operation that's a little different from Riptide and Broken Fang. Obviously, that was very successful, but how can we change it up to still be interesting for the community? Because I think after 2 or 3 years of having the same one, it gets a little stale, and I think this can only probably last another 2 or 3 years before people are just kind of fed up with it and don't want anything to do with it. But anyway, that's my roadmap for 2022, and of course going into 2023. Let me know what you guys think down below. With more majors coming out, especially like 2 or 3 or 3 being max, I think, do you think that's going to affect the sticker prices of the ones before? Do you think it's going to make them worthless? And do you think we're going to be able to have another year like Stockholm where it's just weird, right? People aren't buying them and then they somehow become a very good investment in the end. Please let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below of this entire video and of course my roadmap. And if you have anything different to say, make sure you leave your roadmap down below of this upcoming year. I'm very excited to see what comes for CSGO. I'm hoping we see Source 2 alongside operations. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.